Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be putting these foam boards up on the ceiling using the Scissor lift. It's a gas powered lift, so the doors have to be open, and it's 30 degrees outside. Let's get going. So we measured our width between the rafters up there, and I'm at 46 3/4. So I'm going to rip 4 boards down to that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll get them up here to see how it looks. We got the first one laid up in there. We're using these little, washers that have little teeth on them. 2.5-inch screws. Board's 1.5 inches. That should give me 1 inch into the purlin. And we'll poke out the other side. We'll get this screwed up here, and then we'll measure for the next one, see how long it needs to be. We got a board up. A couple things happened here. When I went to rent the Scissor lift, apparently the little guy that would get in between these trusses, it's 3 and some change wide, it only goes up 16 feet. Real tiny thing, 4,000 pounds, non-marking tires, which I thought would be great. Apparently that doesn't have enough ride height clearance to be able to get onto my trailer. I got a car hauler, it's got a little dovetail in the back. They won't put that on there. He said, I can put it on there with a forklift, but you won't be able to get it off at your shop. I probably should have done it and figured out ways to get 2x4s and things and get that thing off of there. Anyways, I went with the one I could get on the trailer because they make you load it, which is this all-terrain XJ9000 thing, which is great. It gets me all the way up, but the height of these and the spacing of these is wider than where the trusses are at, so I can't get that up. When I need to come out to these panels in here, I need to go higher. Can't get between the trusses to get up there. I tried laying down the safety support things. I could probably do that, but there's all kinds of crap. I picked the hardest one to start with just because of my luck. I've got garage door opener tracks. I've got a piece of Romex for my lights that are going right there. So it's just all kinds of combination of, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. The second board is not a full 8 feet. When you get right up in here, it's 8 feet, I think, is over to that purlin. So I got to cut some off. I can't really get up there to get an accurate measurement because I wanted that to land on, that purlin here, and then I was going to put a piece of board between those two, covering the ridge gap. But can't get up there to measure that. So I have to stare at this for a minute, maybe get a beer and figure out how I'm going to make this work. Hold, please. Well, that was painful. I still haven't got a 100% solution on this of how I'm going to get, Scissor lift up here. It's, I'm going to be fighting this the whole time. If you can get the smaller one, get the smaller one. This is horrible. Or if your trusses are not 4 foot on center, might be a little easier for you. Anyways, I've got this up as high as I can go. I can almost reach, I'm 6'6", so got a pretty good wingspan. I can get almost all the way up there. I have no clue how I'm going to get that. That's like 2 days from now, me problem. Figure that out when it happens, I guess. But I've got 2 boards, thick all the way down. I had to notch that little guy for the, here's blocking for the rafter to tie into. So screwed a board in there. Tried to hang one board off the other board with a screw. That doesn't work. So what I did was I put the screw in here, and then the board kind of sits up against it. So it's a 2.5-inch screw. I thread the threads all the way in. I probably got 1.5 inches or so sticking out. I'm going to sneak some can foam in there. Some of that's friction fit. I might just stick some caulk or something in it. But the sides where I got a little bit of gap, I'll get some foam. Everything's going to get the tape. 1 down, 59 to go. I got my proof of concept done. Measure, cut 4 boards, got to notch one of them, and then on the other 2 I got to take 10 inches off the end of it, my measurements, but that puts it right about, I don't know if you can see that, right about on that purlin there. Trying not to use foam where I can because it's $12 a can, and the caulking is, I don't know, $6 or $7 for a tube, and the caulking goes a lot farther than the spray foam, so this stuff starts getting expensive fast. So I did 4 boards, and I'm gonna start cutting the next 4 and get up there. I think I got this scissor lift thing figured out where if I straddle the trusses, then I can work in the bay that I need to work on. It just makes it complicated when you're working around the garage door openers. So let's do those first so all the frustrations out of the way. I'm gonna get cutting and get up to the next bay. I had a late start this morning. I had to go to work. I had to get the scissor lift. Had to figure out what to do with my hands. I got 5 bays, 5 trusses, whatever done. I went through, and just those 5, I went through 2 tubes of caulk, or little tight seams and things, and 2 of the large foam cans. Day 2, let's go. I've got 3 different ways I'm sealing these boards. Basically, I just need to make an airtight seal. I've got tape, caulk, and spray foam. My caulk fills a little hole, maybe, half an inch or so. So that's good for holes half an inch to press fit. If it's just a press fit, like I'm, really tight and I'm hammering it in there, I'll just throw some tape on it. If it's just a big old hole, then I just fill it with some spray foam. So you guys can do what you do. Some people purposely cut it small so they can use foam. Caulk is half the price of a tube of foam. Tape is a little bit cheaper than that, so I'm trying to cut costs here as we go. Otherwise, I'd be using, for every 4-foot span, I'd be using 1 12-foot can of foam, and that stuff adds up quick. We're trying to save money here, so that's what I'm doing there. Day 3, almost halfway done. I got these two truss bays over here to do, and then I will be at the halfway point. Should be one of the last, well, I got this one too that has the garage door track on there, so once we get those done, we can probably fly through the rest of this. It's pretty easy as long as you're not doing that kind of stuff. But I'm gonna get these two knocked out, and then we're gonna keep moving. I have OCD, somewhat severe, and I do things just to mess with myself because I'm a dick to myself. So I had one board that I notched backwards. I notched on this side when it should have been on that, or that side, it should have been on this side, whatever. So I had to invert it. So the covering, it's upside down basically, so it looks different. The color is off from all of the other ones. And instead of taking it down and notching the right board or using that on the other side or something like that, I decided to leave it just so when I'm laying on my back wrenching on things, I can look at that and it's going to drive me insane, as it already is now. So it's good to keep yourself in check. Let's get going. I got this half of the shop done, so I had to play a little Tetris here and get things moved around. All my table saw and everything's gonna be on this side, and now I can work on that side. You know, just part of the game. If you're gonna do this, I recommend you do it before you move in and don't have anything in here. It makes it a whole lot easier. I tried that. I have minimal amount of things, a couple toolboxes that roll and things, but it's just, you know, just fitting everything in here. So now we got the table saw and everything set up here, which is where I don't need the scissor lift, and I can use all of that side to move around. Hopefully your equipment's better than mine. I have to jack with the controller 8,000 times every time I let go of it before it'll light up green and do things again, so there's some sort of short in there. I probably spent 3/4 of my time on this lift jiggling the joystick, you know, just like every teenage boy. All right, it's day 5, I think. Anyways, last night we left off I had to run get the kid from school, so I didn't get this bay finished. I got the board sitting up there, just got to finish that one up. I've got 4 more bays to do. Also got to figure out how I'm going to get this ridge done. This guy up here, I think I got a plan of attack for that, but we're going to try that. I'm going to get these 4 bays done. I'm going to reconfigure the scissor lift and see if I can't get that done today too. Got all the bays done, and now I'm up to doing the ridge caps. I think I got a proof of concept here that's going to work pretty good. Every board that I cut going into the bays, there were 48 inches, 4 foot wide. I needed anywhere from 45 to 47 and some change, so I got offcuts that are 1 to 2 inches long and about 8 feet long, because that's what the board is. So what I'm doing is I'm running those little offcuts right in the center of that ridge cap. You know, just I like to eat every part of the buffalo. I'm going to stick that in there, get a little bit of R value out of it. And then the chunks that I cut off from each board that were, I don't know, 9 or 10 inches, I'm taking those and I'm just trimming them down so they press fit into there. They're held in with friction on either side here. I cut them with the little Sawzall blade right up here, tap them in place. So I've got, in each one of these cavities, I'm going to put one of the offshoot cuts and then 2 layers of that 10-inch thick board. So it's the same uniform thickness all around. I'll cover in all my gaps with spray foam, and you know, Bob's your own. Got the center gap going about 3/4 of the way down. All of the roof panels in between the trusses are done. I just moved the entirety of everything I had stacked over here, over there. Fun fact, these car skates do not like anything under them. So anyways, all the stuff's over there. Now I can get this scissor lift over here and I have 5 center truss. I have 5 of the ridge gap deals to do. Get off. All right. And that's it. We're done. This is insulated. That wasn't very hard. It was still very time consuming. There are a few things that I did learn doing this process. When you're doing this, make sure you measure your trusses. Make sure you see what you can fit as far as a scissor lift, if that's what you're going to use to get in here. You could try using a ladder, but I tried getting up on a ladder with the boards and holding the board and screwing and all the things. You need 4 hands. So if you get a scissor lift, make sure you get one that fits in between your trusses. If you don't, or they don't have one available for that, you can do what I did, drop the end pieces down and just straddle the trusses and lift yourself up. I went through about 3 of the large boxes of 2.5-inch screws. I think I used 15 or 20 of the large Pro foam cans. I got a Pro foam gun, which was like $60. I think I went through 10 tubes of caulk and 1 bag of the little washers. In fact, I still have half a bag left. I'll throw a link down to these. I got them on Amazon. It was like $12 for the bag. I just got little splines on the end of them. Only used about half of them, so depending on how you attach your stuff, you may need more. I'm sure there are other options out there, but this was cheap and metal and it would work. So went through half a bag of those. I'm sure if you shop around or you go online, you can probably get the Pro foam gun for less than $60. I just got it at Menards. I think they're 20 bucks on Amazon or something, so you could save some money there. If you're getting the foam cans, and I got, I think 20 or more, I have to check my receipts. You could probably get a bulk order online and get it way cheaper than that. I think it was $14 a can for the stuff I was using. Probably save yourself some money there. Foam boards I got on Marketplace. Again, check your Marketplace. You'll find deals here and there, and always ask for a cash price, because that knocked like $400 off the total price. So that's another win. Trying to save money everywhere we can. I'm about maybe 1/3 of the cost of what the spray foam bid would be. Is this going to operate as efficient as spray foam? I don't know. I don't have spray foam, but it's going to be pretty good. I've already noticed a huge difference in here. You can reduce the amount of foam and caulking and tape and things that you're using if you make your boards tighter and fit in the gaps better. Some of them I just got lazy, like around the Romex and things, and I cut it close. So I had to fill that in with foam, so that means I had to spend more money on the foam by what I had for board. I do have probably 30 boards left over. This is a 30 by 60 by 14 shop, and I got 200 boards, and that was enough to do all of the walls and 2 boards on the ceilings. I still have a good chunk left over. I'm waiting until summertime to see where I need some extra installation, and I'm gonna fill those cavities in as we go. So overall, a very good, cheap alternative to spray foam. Seems to work pretty well. Just air sealing this seems to have worked really well. So thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, please ask away, and stay tuned for the next video. We got more coming out.